Beautiful people, I greet you. Thank you for joining today. And today I have someone really special. She is Dr. Akrabula Damaris, a consultant and radiology specialist at Alex Ekweme Federal Teaching Hospital, Abakaliki. She's also a consulting radiologist at Hansa Clinic, Enugu. She's been awarded IOF, that's supposed to be the International Osteoporosis Foundation, Young Investigator, and also a member of the Foundation for the Awareness of Osteoporosis in Nigeria. Thank you very much, ma, for joining me this evening.
Thank you, Moses.
Yes, ma.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, ma. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma. So we were supposed to be talking about bones today and healthy bones and all that. So the floor is yours, man. Wherever you want to start from.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Yes. Welcome, man.
Everybody is the bone is what gives us our structure. The bone is what gives us our posture, our figure, and we have from elementary school. Most of us know that we have about 206 bones in the body. And somebody would, ask, why do we need to have bone health? I've heard about mental health. I've heard about dental health. I've had all sorts of health, but I've never really heard about bone health. Okay, so I just try to say that the bone helps to protect vital organs in the body. Like your brain is very important, but I can't see your brain because the skull, which is bone, is of course protecting your brain. Your heart and your lungs are being protected by the skeleton, which are bones. They help us to move. So why are we showing light on bone health? Okay. I don't know if you've seen anybody who has suffered a fracture or if you've had a fracture before. Now, some fractures are, fractures that, of course, when something happened, there was an impact, there was some kind of trauma, and somebody fractured. Okay, but there's this other kind of fracture that it's alarming, where it's just a minor fall. Somebody just bumped into you, and the person fractures. Now a fracture is not a fun thing to have. A fracture is actually very debilitating. So you need to have good bone health so that you can avoid fractures.
Okay.
Okay. So yes.
I guess like I know. Normally, if you had to take care of your eyes or something, they'll say, okay, eat so and so. Don't eat this. Don't eat that. This is.
Okay. Yes, there are things you do to protect your bone or to avoid fractures. Okay. I was going to say, when we talk about fractures and all that, I'll begin to talk about osteoporosis. You mentioned that when you were trying to introduce me, okay?
Yeah.
So people know a lot, may know some other things. They may even know things like they may know things like osteomalacia. Some people may even know sarcoma. They know other things, but osteo is bone. Okay. Now, a person has what we call bone remodeling. It's a constant, continuous thing. What happens is that you lose bone and you gain bone. So the body has a way of breaking down old bone and then building up new bone and laying it up. Okay.
Sorry,
so
sorry, ma, hold on. So this whole process of building and laying up, we are not aware of the whole process, or something that just happens inside and then we don't know.
No, you don't know about it. You don't even know how it happens, but it's something that is constantly and continuously happen. You have new bone cells replacing the old ones. Okay.
Okay.
So yes. So a young person, a child, an adolescent, an adult at the age of 30
Yeah.
takes over the years they build what we call their bone bank. Okay,
Oh,
so that they can achieve a peak bone mass. Why this is important is that when you finally begin to grow older, when you are both 30, your peak, you would have peaked. Your bone mass or your bone bank would have peaked at that point. So what you now begin to rely on, you begin to rely on what you have in your bank. Okay,
oh,
how much bone you have saved.
okay, okay. And then, um, like I asked earlier on, are there certain classes of food we should be eating for develop
Yes,
or for
yes, I was going to, I was going to
go on, listen, go on.
I was going to come to that, but I needed to lay foundation of what is happening in our body. I just wanted to lay
Okay, okay,
a
okay,
little bit of foundation on it.
okay.
Yes. So because this happens, you find out that fractures are things that happen, in the elderly. Sometimes when you hear things like osteoporosis, a young person will go like, "What's my own with osteoporosis?
Yeah,
I don't have any problem with osteoporosis."
yeah.
But you are responsible for your future. Do you understand me? You
Okay,
need to build your bone. You need to put money in the bank and save up for tomorrow. That's what you're doing. When you build your bone mass, consciously and intentionally build your bone bank.
yeah.
When you're now older, because when you get older, what happens is that you now lose more bone than you add. Okay?
Oh,
Hello?
okay, okay.
Yes, so you lose more bone than you add, um, which wasn't happening before when you were younger. When you were younger, you add more bone. There's this laying down of new bone cells,
Yeah.
faster than you lose them. So
Okay,
that's why you need to build a bone bank. Okay,
okay.
all right. So why it's called porosis, which is porosis, as osteo is bone and porosis is porous. If you have a bone, especially the outer part of the bone, that is now brittle and weak and porous, it's very easy for it to fracture.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Yes. So this is why these are the things you need to avoid. You don't want to have a fracture. You don't want someone to have to carry you. You don't want to have a wheelchair,
Yeah.
to be taking you to everywhere you are going, because it actually just makes you gives you a disability to depend on people to be carried about, especially if you have a fracture.
Okay.
Okay, so there are factors that affect our bone health.
Okay.
Number one, everybody knows that physical activity. If you're not moving about, if you're not, active, then you won't get to have new bones forming, new bone cells forming.
Okay.
So a sedentary lifestyle, a lifestyle that makes you, sit at a place, or you don't move much, or a lifestyle that makes you just sit and watch television all day long, play PS4 or PS5 all day long for young people, or a kind of job that makes you just sit on your table from morning to night, is a sedentary lifestyle. So it means you're not helping your bone health.
Okay.
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 Okay, so that's number one.
Sorry, man. So if I understand you correctly, like more like regular exercising, I mean, keeping fit and being busy helps the growth or the replacement of these bones, yes? Or building your bone bank, as you said.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So
It does.
go on now.
Yeah, it's a good way of taking care of your bone. Okay, so you have things like gender. if you're a female, you are more prone to having osteoporosis or even fractures, flimsy fractures. That this is because, and this is mostly in women who have moved on above 50 women, women who are in their menopause. Why? Because their hormone, the major female hormone drops, which is estrogen. Okay, so being a female makes you more prone to osteoporosis or to fractures. Okay.
Okay.
Are we there?
Yeah. But how? So is there a way of managing, since it's prominent with women? Is there a way to manage it, or some form of I don't know, remedy, or so women should exercise more or something? Is there a kind of preventive?
Okay, yeah, women should exercise more. They can do weight bearing exercises like jogging,
Okay.
exercises like taking long walks. And then there are also dietary intakes of calcium. Women should take more of calcium in their food, as supplements. They should just try to maintain the recommended dietary allowance every day of between 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams a day.
Wow. Okay. It's quite. It's quite.
So yes, it is. Some other interesting things are things like substance use, tobacco, alcohol. They have a way of impacting the bone, negatively. Smoking does not help that bone remodeling that happens normally. So it bone reduces, you lose more bone than you add. Okay.
Okay.
So there is an interesting factor.
Okay.
Everybody wants to be thin, everybody wants to be slim, okay? But statistics has it that people who are slimmer have less bone mass. Okay, so
Wow.
yes. um, uh, People who have more body weight also have a higher bone mass. Okay, so these are the factors that impact on our bone health. Things like long-term use of medications,
So,
medications like steroids, anticonvulsants.
so
Hello, can you hear me?
yes, ma'am, following you, ma'am. I am following you.
Okay, yeah. So some of these medications have a way of impacting on the bone negatively.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. Then race. Osteoporosis is, we're still trying to create an awareness like that. The association that I belong to, the
Yeah.
foundation that we have, it's all about creating awareness of osteoporosis. People don't know anything about bone health. When you talk about bone health, most people have never really heard about it before or what it even means.
My
Okay,
first time too.
this is because okay, yes, your first time. I understand that. This is because it is predominant in Asians and Caucasians, like white people. But
Okay.
um, in retrospect now, studies have it that probably it has been here all along, but just that we were not aware
Okay.
um, of its impact on people. We
Yeah.
didn't have, maybe we didn't have enough data on that. Also, maybe because we have a lot of sunlight. I
Okay.
was going to say because I was going to talk about calcium intake. I say that in your diet, you
Oh,
know, what you eat, how to maintain your health, maintain healthy bones.
okay.
What you eat is very very important. You need to increase your calcium content. We all know that the calcium is, as in the bone,
Yeah.
is mostly made up of calcium and phosphorus. So if you have enough calcium in your diet, local diets like bambara nuts, that's oppa. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
oppa.
Yeah.
Um, Yes, like cocoyam, like some of this our not some of our legumes,
Okay.
okay, are rich in calcium. We have
Okay.
fish, we have crayfish, seafood. They're all rich in calcium.
Okay.
So we try to include that in our diet.
Okay.
Either that, or you can now take, calcium supplements,
Okay.
especially for women who have reach the age of 50 and above, and also men too.
Okay. So, you mentioned you were trying to say something about the sun and its effect. I mean,
O-
I would like if you throw light on that.
Okay, so we have a lot of sunlight in Africa, and sunlight, early morning sunlight, gives us vitamin D. We have been
Yeah.
taught from primary school, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, but the thing with calcium cannot be absorbed in the body without the aid of vitamin D. So that's the role vitamin D plays in our bodies,
Okay.
because it's like a driver. It's a reception, and a reception is it receives the calcium in
Oh.
our body.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, yes. So that's
So small sunlight from this side, and then exercising on the other side, balancing with good diet, and then my bones are good. Yes.
good. Yes. Exercising, good, a lot of calcium in your meals, incorporate it into your meal. Yes, sunlight, early morning sunlight, anything from 11 a.m. down. Um, Above that, I don't know what vitamin that will be giving you, really, but early morning sunlight is you're sure of vitamin D.
Okay. Okay. And so thank you so much, man. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome, Moses.
So probably some other time we'll have you around to talk more on some other issues. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much, man.